Over the past 5 years, we've implemented over 100 design innovation studios across Indiana, both within K-8 spaces and industry. So we have major OEMs such as Subaru, Cummins, Hauser, Toyota, and Honda who have partnered with us. And then they have partnering schools or school districts, and that would be the other 95 to 96 design innovation studios across the state. And so what we're hearing from teachers in regards to testimonials that they're providing to us about the usage of the space is really around students who are more associated with kinetic learning or are able to learn by doing. And that was one of our main goals with the Design Innovation Studio model, as well as providing earlier access to this type of technology that most emulates Industry 4.0 technology. And then two, we're mostly in rural communities, which really again gives us another experience that students otherwise maybe wouldn't have. And we also then touch on gender. And so, for example, one of the stories we receive from the educators is that a student who may be in a traditional classroom setting where you have pencil to paper are excelling when they go into the design and studio space, and they're able to articulate or lead in a different way. They also find that those students are being more successful in regards to talking through the problem solving piece of it, versus just having a one-on-one such as themselves to the paper or to the testing mechanism. And our industry partners right now have seen over 7,000 students come through in 1 year, and they're able to provide a formal learning environment around industry and career awareness that's able to utilize with that K-8 space. In previous times, it would have been in the high school space. The Design Innovation Studio model was set up to emulate Industry 4.0 technology and to help provide earlier access for the skills gap that's happening from a global and national level. And so we identified Industry 4.0 like technology to emulate into the classroom. So if you look at robotics, computer science, additive printing, 3D printing, engineering design, utilizing Tinkercad from a CAD design, we really socialize failure in regards to, it shouldn't happen on prototype number 1, it should happen on prototype 2006. And so again, we're addressing as well those soft skills that a lot of industry have reported that are missing within emerging workforce. And so from that perspective, we utilized Purdue pre-service engineering teachers through Purdue Polytechnic, and we asked them to bring us any and all technology that they were familiar with or aware of. And then we brought teachers in, and because they're the user, right? And we said, does this work in a classroom? And they provided feedback. So those are why the technologies that are in the Design Innovation Studio model are there. In partnering with Purdue IN-MaC, we're able to take what I call fact-based conversations that are based on data. And so many times people will get grant funding and they'll be awarded it and they'll implement an activity or a project, but there's no true data to say, was there a learning outcome, was there a knowledge gain, was there skills that were gained? And so that is why we partner with who we partner with, is so that we know that we're able, as Purdue, as a land-grant institution, to be able to collect that data and help schools and industry make informed decisions around what they're investing in. Many times industry is coming to us stating that they're not able to attract talent or to attract the right workforce. And so what we're doing again is trying to leverage the Design Innovation Studios to give those students earlier career experiences, earlier skill sets that most emulate manufacturing skills, digital skills, agriculture skills, however you would like to call it. And what we do is we take those curriculum alignments that we also create, and we can articulate a true learning experience with what we call stackable learning experiences. And then they're able to take those experiences and put them into the industry setting at the industry studios. For the students that are in the K-8 space, in regards to the experience they're getting, so when a child who's in the education system reaches 8th grade, they're asked to pick a pathway, a career and technical education pathway. And what we're doing is we're providing them earlier access to allow them to make a more informed decision. So very many times a student may go in and pick a technology or robotics background, or they may pick biosciences when they're going into high school. And just like a college student, they may find by their sophomore or junior year, maybe this isn't exactly what I wanted to do. And so what we're trying to do is trying to articulate, again, that early experience, that early access to these students, and allow them to make more informed decisions and to also build confidence. And from the confidence level, we're providing confidence to the educators. So many of the educators in K through 8 who are in post-secondary education, their previous degree did not provide them experience in robotics or additive printing or 3D printing in especially the K through 8 or K through 5 space. So we're upskilling just like we are with our current workforce. For those that have been in the workforce, we're also upskilling our educators to provide them new skill sets that are focused around emerging technologies and also leading into the work within Purdue, such as semiconductor work. When we're looking at longevity, I would like to see that the studios are still in place, that they're growing, that all students have access to this type of learning experience, that we're upskilling educators and we have a deeper knowledge gain in regards to that technology and how to align it with the Indiana standards so that students have better outcomes and we have better graduation rates, as well as feeding the workforce and the talent pipeline within Indiana. In the next 5 years, I focus a lot on quality versus quantity. So I get asked a lot of times about, well, could you please place schools in this area or this area? And I always say, you know, you have to be ready. And so we really focus on what we call discovery conversations. We spend a lot of time with the leadership team within the industry and the education to really make sure that they're committed. It's definitely a long-term commitment. But we are at the beginning stages. So I always say at this time it's a grassroots effort, but our industry are really starting to understand that having an earlier point of conversation and earlier introduction into these students, their future of work. And I also just applaud the educators because they truly are Indiana's first recruiter for the workforce. So your teacher really is the person who tells you, I think you'd be good at this, or you're really good at this. And they start to see those early skill sets that they see that are successful for the student. And so those are things that we really try to socialize with the educators to advocate for. In regards to the Design Innovation Studios, I'm very proud of the work that we've done in regards to getting them implemented and finding the right people to lead them, which we call our Design Innovation Studio champions. And I'm excited just from the standpoint of IN-MaC and Purdue University. My previous life was in industry, and so coming into Purdue to talk about these skill sets and getting them into the educators. I'm an educator by heart. I have my master's is in education, so I get to bring both of my favorite things together. And being able to provide new skill sets to educators, to provide different learning experience, especially in regards to students who otherwise wouldn't have access, and gender equity. So we know that within manufacturing there is a gender gap, and so I really am excited to see if there are more females, more people of color, more people of different social economic backgrounds that are able to have more successful lives. So those are the things that I'm really excited about.